Hi, I'm Jeff, and I'm the 10-minute treasurer, and I'm going to get back to work on GnuCash. So, if you're just joining me, this is like the third episode where I'm just trying out different accounting systems to see if there is a good alternative to QuickBooks. And GnuCash is the first one. It's free. I did a quick intro, super easy to install, not very hard to set up. But now we're going to put it to the test and run some transactions through it. All right, so here we are in GnuCash, and I'm in JCT Church. And we are going to do a couple of regular transactions. So what I want to do is like a Sunday offering, pay some bills, maybe try to do a manual payroll. And lastly, I think I want to try to do maybe like a journal entry as well. And you can see already that I have played around in here. I have tried to post some stuff. So I'm just going to show you, like, when you double click on an account, it brings up like the register, which you're pretty used to. And you can even see the description. So sometimes that's the name of the vendor or the customer. The account is in this transfer, and whether it's a debit or a credit. So you really got to pay attention to your debits and credits. So this is going to make it harder for a regular bookkeeper, I do believe. There's also if it's been reconciled to. So what I'm used to being able to do is going to the register and entering in something. So if I was going to say today is the 13th, so I'm just going to leave that there. And let's say I was going to make a donation. There's an autocomplete, which is kind of nice. And it remembered last time I did this undeposited, but this time I'm just going to choose offering and donations, $200. And there that is. It's added right to my checking account. And let's go ahead and go back, and we're going to look at my offering. And we can see some money here. We see my $200 here. But here's the cruddy thing. Let's go ahead and go to my customers. So I set up a bunch of customers, and like they were donors. And here's where I set myself up. And to set up one, by the way, you just go to new and fill it in. It says company name. So if under company name, I just entered in the person's name, which is kind of cruddy. But I go ahead and click on it, and you can see it's only $200 versus we could see right here, 200 plus another 200 is 400. So here is the issue I ran into. There's not a regular deposit button. And when you record it just right in the register, it doesn't connect that to the customer report. So what you end up having to do is go to business and the customer. You could either do a new invoice here, or I could do a new invoice here, I suppose. If I did a new invoice here, I could say 1/13/2026. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. And offering. And here it's going to want to know what is the income account. So I'm going to say offering again. And it asks for this quantity and the unit price. So if I gave $200, that's how I'd have to do it. So it's kind of cruddy. I wish I could just go right over to there and enter it in, but it won't let me do that. And now I have to post the invoice. So that's way up here. Post the invoice. And that's going to record the income plus an accounts receivable. And now I have to go to pay. And now I can pay it, and I could say check number 1234. And it's going into my checking account. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So now when I go to my customer, you can see two payments, and then you also see that invoice in there as well. So kind of interesting. Yeah, kind of interesting. This makes me wonder, okay, maybe I just got to use this as a simple, just a simple like checkbook register. So I'm not going to keep my donor records here, most likely. So likely what I would end up doing is saying, okay, on the 13th, here's my Sunday offering, and how much was, so offering, and how much was it? $1,254.56. So it might end up looking like that. Yeah. Not sure what I think about that. Then, so there's obviously some shortcomings when we get to entering in deposits. It would be very difficult to keep donor records by going through that whole system of entering an invoice, posting an invoice, posting the payment. It just seems very, it seems like way too many steps. Let's go ahead and try to pay a bill now. So we get a vendor. So let's go to our vendor center. And all I have is one vendor set up right now. Watertown Municipal Utilities. Let's do another one. And I'm just going to say Walmart. And there's not an option to just enter a check or an expenditure like you would in QuickBooks. Even if you go to process payment, so I just right clicked them and clicked process payment, or I could have hit the button up here, it automatically goes to accounts payable, so that you don't get a chance to pick your expense or anything like that. So, and if you try to go through the checking account and just entering it in there, it's not going to keep track of everything in the vendor files. So what you end up having to do is, let's go back to our go back to our vendors, and you end up, even for something like this, so swipe your debit card at Walmart, you end up having to enter in an bill. And I suppose I could put a note there if I wanted to, but I don't even want to. So I'm just going to say miscellany. Or maybe I could type in debit card. Action. What do I want for an action? Nothing. I actually want to leave that blank. Expenditure. Office. Do I got an office supplies? I do. And again, it's going to ask you for the quantity and the unit price. So one, and let's just say it was $7.59. So now when we go over to our accounts, we can see, let me go into office supplies. Oh, did I hit the, oh, it didn't even go through all the way. So I entered the bill in. So I could enter in a bunch more to this bill if I wanted to, but eventually you're just going to have to post it. I'm going to post it, and then I'm going to still have to pay it. And I'm going to have to choose which account I'm going to pay it from. And I might just say card here. And so it ends up being kind of wild. So here you can see my card payment showing up in my checking account. And when I go over to my office supplies, you can see right here, office supplies. And you can see that on this side then too. So not super easy. If I was just writing checks and it was only a few checks and it was a very small church, maybe only a handful of parishioners, maybe I could see myself doing it. Or if I was not really keeping track of vendor records. Either way, if I wanted to actually keep track of what I was paying vendors, I would have to use the invoicing. So there's just not a quick way of doing that I can see. And then if you are going to do like well, let's go ahead and do an employee. I haven't done that yet. So let's do a new employee. Employee number, username, billing information. Okay, I'm going to say Pastor Bill. All right, so here's Pastor Bill, and Pastor Bill has a new voucher. So this might be the paycheck for Pastor Bill. And it makes me do a voucher. Paycheck. Let me see what I got here. Pastor, do I got a pastor salary? And you're again gonna have to do quantity and unit price, and he was paid $1,000. And it's gonna say cash payment. And let's go ahead and post this voucher. And then we got to go ahead and pay this voucher with check number 4568. And I got to remember to choose my checking account. All right, now let's go ahead and look at that. So we go over to our accounts. And here's our pastor staff compensation. So there you can see it's $1,000 paid to Pastor Bill. And if you look in our checkbook register, you could also see that payment right here. So, and I suppose if you also did a journal entry, that is how you do it. One of the things I should try to say too is if you followed some of my channel, I like to do donor restricted gifts through my equity section. You really don't have that option when you're trying to use the customers and the vendors. It just doesn't really let you do that. So if I was going to go ahead and let me just show you real quick. Let's go ahead and go to my customers again. And let's say I also, let's do a new invoice. We'll do it the next day, just so maybe I could see it easier. And maybe this is missions. And if I wanted to give it to missions, it will not let me see anything besides assets, income, and liabilities. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this. And I don't know for sure, but I bet you it's the same also on the vendor side. Vendor side, new bill. And if I'm going to go to here, I again don't see any equity. So there you're going to end up having to go to your accounts and double clicking on one of your on here and then transferring the money from your offering or something like that. So not super happy about all this. All right, so that was somewhat disappointing. I just felt as I was going on, I was like, okay, this is going to be a lot of work to make this work for a church with a decent amount of activity. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see. I'll run some reports, and maybe the reports will be super good and it'll outweigh all the extra work. But again, if you are a small church and you just basically need something that's a checkbook register, I would still have troubles. I mean, because you got it seems a little awkward right now. So, all right, we'll see next time. All right, blessings.